G'day legends, TJC Sports here. Welcome back to another legendary NRL live stream reaction here. Today we're going to be reacting to the second game of our Friday footy here. It is the Melbourne Storm versus the Canterbury Bulldogs at Amy Park here in a game that could have huge consequences for the finals, legends. That's right, it's 10th versus 12th here, and you have to say, for the Melbourne Storm, if they want any chance, legends, with the games left to go, there's not too many to go, they're going to want to win this one versus the Doggies, or we can pretty much all but rule them out completely. Some could say that even before this game, you can rule them out completely, but it's Melbourne Storm, so I don't really want to be getting too cocky about anything here. The Canterbury Bulldogs, of course, as of recent, getting into some top form. Only in the last 2 weeks, though. They kind of started well before having a bit of an average go into the year here. But after wins of 32-0 versus the Tigers, what a one-sided stream that was, and 18-6 versus top-performing New Zealand Warriors, one of the favourites to potentially win this comp this year. Probably everybody's second team for the final series heading into the 2026 final series. They certainly have the form to get into this one. They also have the stronger team. We'll get into that in a moment, legends, once that wants to load on my screen here. Rugby Fellas is first up. The Storm, the GOAT is back. We are back, legend, and we are ready to rumble. We'll also be streaming a couple games tomorrow as well. Can't wait for it. Cowboys got smashed by the Roosters last night. They did. It was an absolutely horrendous result. I think 1935 was the last time we had a result that was bigger. Absolutely insane stuff. Credit to the Sydney Roosters where it's due. It was a mix of Cowboys being absolutely horrendous and abysmal, and the Roosters being perfection of rugby league with it. When you get those two things together, you get a horrific result. Usually teams are lucky enough to only concede 50. They conceded over 80. That's the way the cookie crumbled for them. And the Cowboys, well, they've got a tough job to bounce back next week. In terms of lineups for this game, legends, at fullback, we have Suafalogo with Moses Leo and Tuamulatu Brown on the wings. In the centres, we have Watari and Nick Meaney, with Tyron Wishart and debutant Hayden Watson in the halves. Jerome Hughes are late out. Initially, Hayden was only named at 14, but comes to the halfback spot due to the late change, with Stefano Utuekamanu and Josh King in the props. Josh King will be the captain, with Trent Talau at hooker. In the second row, we have Oren Keeley and Cooper Clark, with Trent Loiero at lock there. Seems like Clark and Keeley have swapped sides. Wonder how that will go. With Alec McDonald, Jack Hetherington, Sean Bloor, Joe Chan, Angus Hinchy, and Jai Bowden on the bench here. As for the Bulldogs, at fullback, it's Connor Tracy with Jacob Carraz and Jeff Robrinakama on the wings. Anari Tuala and Matt Burton are your centers tonight, with Stephen Crichton moving into the halves with Galvin. That's right, Crichton in the halves, legends. It's been talked about for years. It happens tonight. Will he be able to show what he's got? Does he have the stuff to put it into enough at 5'8" here? Instead of Freddie in the 8th, it'll be Crichton in the 8th in 10 years' time after tonight. With Max King and Leo Thompson in the props. Bailey Hayward at hooker, still legends, with Billy Amakikau and Jacob Preston in the second row. Jamin Salmon wraps up the starting 13 at lock. Kurt Mann, Josh Curran, Harry Haynes, Jones, Sean O'Sullivan, and Jonathan Sewer are the rest of your bench tonight, legends. Gerard Sutton to referee. Petra says, I'm back. Welcome back, Petra. Good to have you in the stream. As always, let's go, Petra. Who you going for in tonight's game? Speaking of which, evening, legends. Evening, Jason Reader. Good to have you here, mate. What a night it is for young Hayden Watson here for the Melbourne Storm. When I was making my return today to streaming after a week off, wasn't expecting to have such a special moment here, but we have it with Watson coming on. Kickoff due in 3, 2, 1, and ding, ding, ding. We have it off here. We open up the game with a run on the right edge here. Jacob Carraz taking the tackle from Tuamulatu Brown here. 9 votes open us up here 56% of you going with the Melbourne Storm to win, who wrap up a nice tackle on the second here around the 22-meter area here. For those watching at home, the Bulldogs are attacking from the left of your screen towards the right, and the Storm are currently defending on the right, but will attack towards the left here. So imagine you've got the screen in front of you. Boot, boot, easy does it. All right, there. That's all good, Petra. Get behind the Storm if you want. That's fine with me. I'm not going to tell you to go for Dogs as the Eels fan. I'll tell you that much. Speaking of Bulldogs, 33% of you tipping them in this game here. They're clearly the underdog in terms of tips, but I don't think people have looked enough at the lineups here. It's a much closer to full-strength Dogs team. Of course, not full strength. We don't have everything that we could want from them. I'm a little interested to see the fact that Crichton's been picked over Burton while both are in the team at 5'8" says a lot about the future of the Doggies here. One thing they've really struggled with is being able to cement who their halves are. The only time they really had it cemented, they were clear first on the table. Suarez will score 2 tries, says Petra. Suarez. Maybe it auto-corrected Kiraz? That's what I reckon. Yeah. Jeffro Rinakama. Because when I think Suarez, I think Luis Suarez, the striker in football, played for Barcelona and Liverpool. And look, he was exceptional. Bit a few too many players. And when I mean bit, you can look that up. But great player. Not a rugby league player, though. Wouldn't have the chomp as he did. To be fair, though, he probably could have much more easily gotten away with biting. Bulldogs now through the middle. How we doing? We doing great, Jettykin. How you doing? I'm sure you're doing great. Congratulations to the Dolphins on their victory over the Dragons, legends. It was a close game, but ultimately the Dolphins just wanted it more. 28-22. Came right down to the siren, that one. Oh, you mean Sewer. Okay, yeah, Sewer Falago. Got you, Petra, for a double. Nice. Well, he is a very good attacking fullback. I feel like you could easily make an argument for him getting over in this one. Placing themselves strong and elusive here down the right. Leo Thompson reading the game well on Tuamalatu Brown here. Now Nick Meaney, one of the first signings the Bears made, crashing his way through over to the 40. And the closer we get to the end of the season, the more realistic the not North Sydney Bears, they're close enough. The Perth Bears are to coming into the comp. Back here around the Dogs, Jeffrey Rinakama, Matt Burton, hold off on any Bears talk, but now the Dogs are almost away. I would be saying they are away if it weren't for the heroics of the mid-season switcheroo, Oren Keeley, who ironically came from the Dolphins, the winners of the last game. Storm. Moses Leo with a good tackle here. Over to the left. Storm 1-12, says Petra in the chat. Love to see it. If you're a Storm fan. Honestly, in this game, I wish both teams can't play finals. Just need one more and we should be set for finals. Should be. You just gotta lock in. You gotta keep it going, all right? The moment you think, oh, it's set, we don't need to try anymore, is the moment you lose everything in rugby league. That's how it works. I don't make the rules. That's just how it goes. Didn't watch the game, but Finn's got work to do, but happy for the W in the end. Of course, Jettykin. Whether you manage to make the game or not due to life and that, of course you got to be happy. You'll take the win, right? And you move on to the next. And a brutal tackle. Get that into you, Max King! Ladies and gentlemen. I'd question if earlier there was a bit of a bobble from Sua Falongo, but they're going to say otherwise here. Moses Leo got absolutely folded. Petra says, bro, PNG Chiefs signed Joey Manu and Zach Lomax. They did. They signed Manu and Lomax. I don't know. Has Manu been announced officially yet? I know Lomax has been officially announced, but let's face it, Manu, even if not officially announced, he's in PNG. He's essentially signed with them. That's going to be an insane partnership. The only question I have is that Joey Manu, is he coming in as the center or the fullback? Because I have concerns if they sign him at fullback. Not because I don't think that he's a brilliant creating player, but because of the fact that he he does a lot of things that really benefit his game. But like for me personally, the way his game works, he's better as an explosive, expansive center than he is as a fullback. As a fullback, I just do not see it as much. He is absolutely a center. But I've seen a lot of people say that if they do not sign anyone further here, that he could be the fullback. Bro, center, 100%, 100%, bro. If he ends up playing center, I think him and Lomax on an edge are going to be absolutely deadly. But you're going to have to wait and see on what their other recruitments are here. Honestly, PNG are signing nothing but stars at the moment and probably going to be a really good team. Kick in the air from Melbourne here, over to the left edge. And we have a try for Melbourne to open things up here. I think it's Moses Leo getting it done there. Poor discipline from the Bulldogs, costing them there here. And off of the center, beautiful kick. Puts the home crowd in awe here. The lead is theirs. And, well, you got to ask questions about the aerial attack there. Jacob Carraz challenging for the ball, but simply not enough from the rest of the Dogs' defense there. Honestly, probably you could argue wasn't even in the best position to challenge it. And you can't really avoid things like that. That's the way the game goes sometimes. And Storm find their way through here and try to continue what's a fight for survival. No Harry Grant. No Jerome Hughes legends. No Cameron Munster. No Xavier Coates. No Ellie Katoa if you want to include him, though he's unlikely to ever return. What a fight. And Melbourne Storm saw to a great height with their winger, Moses Leo. A bit lucky with the touch there, the way his arm's in it, but he manages to get it over. Liam Pritchard in the chat says, Tyler, I'm going to Tigers and Eels game on Sunday. Awesome, Liam. See you there. Alex Johnston is the fullback. No, he's got to be another winger. Johnston at fullback would be such a silly decision from PNG, in my opinion. I don't believe he could fill that role for them with his injury history. Asking somebody that already gets injured enough on the wing to play an even more demanding position where you need the speed, I find it hard to see him being the fullback. And the Melbourne Storm here fly on through. It's another kick, and it's 6-0 here. To the Storm. Bulldogs, not the start you were hoping for. Who knows, though? Plenty of time still to go in this game here. Do not count all your chickens before they've hatched here. Or I guess do not name all your dogs before you've paid to adopt them or something. I don't know. All good, Petra. See ya. Over to the 10-meter line. And Storm going into a game at home as a despised outsider here. They get themselves over to the 20. Josh King now crashing forward here. I remember when he scored what Cooper Cronk labelled a coward's try versus the Parramatta Eels this year. Not a great time to remember here. And that's a pretty legendary Melbourne Storm coaching box to be a part of. Cameron Munster and Hughes, as well as Bellamy, 3 key players in the success of Melbourne. Well, and now through the middle here, past the halfway, Stefano Utuekamano, and they win a 6 again here. The pressure is up to the Dogs to maintain as Josh King bends them all up here. Lockie Galvin had to keep his composure here. Now Wishart, round to the right, gets to Loiero. Loiero, one-handed pass to Wishart. Now back over to Lau. It's the debutant through the middle here. And what a try saver. Good tackle on Hayden Watson. To Lau, to Bologo. Bologo kicks. Redakama, they hit it back here, and the Dogs will manage to get it out of play here. The Melbourne Storm should be receiving the ball back, though, off of the dropout. Well, options everywhere, and he decides to kick it. Not sure if that was the way to go for Sewer, but in the end, it doesn't end too poorly for them. Connor Tracy forced to take action. Goes with a wobbly short restart here. Goes the 10. Melbourne got the ball. Stefano snapping the ball up here. And there's room for Clark here. Down the left. Stefano 1-on-1, but Galvin keeps it together. Will they be able to on the right, though? Brick by brick. They're building the set of dreams here. Nick Meaney stopped by Matty Burton. Burton bombing a try for the Storm here. And now Wishart. Back round to Utueka Manu. Stefano taken down now. Just 8 meters away here. Wishart to Lau. Short side kicks it. Crichton collects. And Crichton knocked it on is the referee's call. I did not see any knock on. I'm honestly questioning that. I'd like to see a replay. A knock on from the Dogs, huh? Well, the Storm showing a bit of class that they've surely, unfortunately, lacked over a couple games this year compared to per usual. And, of course, the Dogs, all of them probably on their radar is Hayden Watson, the debutant for the Storm here. I'm sure he's more than ready for it, though. You play in the junior system through the park footy, between Flegg, SG, and more, just for the chance at an opportunity like this. Even if it's just for a game, you keep the dream alive here. And the Melbourne Storm, well, that's not a good start. The scrum doesn't go too well. The Melbourne Storm are called back. Jettykins says, man, if Doggies lose, that's got to be embarrassing. Oh, it's going to be a massively embarrassing, Legend, if the Doggies lose this one here. They're without both their halves, without one of their wingers, and without some of their best forwards. Let's be honest here. This is absolutely, it's a bit embarrassing for them. Stefano! A runaway trade here. Wishart, Liero cuts them away on the inside here. Max King, though, the New South Wales Blues representative with the tackle. And now to the left here. Cooper Clark, not too many can stop him in that position. Right against the line here. The Storm. No good. Joe Chan held up here. No try for Channy to come. Not by the hairs on our Channy Chan. Looked like he was going to get it down for a second. Bunker seems to be reviewing something. Okay. So it doesn't matter if it's a try. Joe Chan gives away a penalty. And there you have it, Legends. Won't matter. Melbourne Storm give it away to Dogs here. And the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs. Yeah. No, I forgot Brick. Yeah, so they don't have both of what would typically be their first choice. Everybody's bit wingers. They don't have their two halves. They don't have Harry Grant. They don't have their elite X Factor forward from last year. The Doggies, who are the Dogs even missing at this point? If anything, they've had enough players that they can shift things around. Can't be panicking yet, though. It's literally only 6-0, Legends. And the Melbourne Storm, wow, they'll be happy with the start so far, but they'll probably want to look to get more on the board before giving any more opportunity to Dogs here. Viliami Cacao. We know how dangerous he can be through the edge here when you give him a breakaway. Gets it off to Thompson now. And it's tackle 0 here. They were inside the 10 now. Oh, the strategies. Jamin Salmon with a few little steps there on the run here. Gets past the 40. And Galvin the King. Don't pick anyone as far as I know. Yeah, that's what I thought. They're pretty much full strength, the doggies, which makes it extra embarrassing. On the kick from Galvin here. Burden sprinting through and Suo for longer. If he doesn't kick that with his boots, that's a try for the Dogs there. And he points to his teammates. He knows that he just pulled off one of the saves of the round, even if it is early days into this 2022-26 round. Honestly, the players that they have on the visiting list at the moment. Oh, good catch from the Stormy, and the short kickoff works out for them here, and Melbourne will get the ball back. Well, they've managed to stifle the start of the Bulldogs, the Melbourne Storm. The only fear I have for Melbourne is whether they can maintain this for 80 based on what we've seen this year from them. If they can do that, though, massive plays to come. Melbourne Storm get themselves over to their 40 here, and they'll just push forward with it. Shapes it towards the touchline here, and Connor Tracy. Can he break them ankles? Break them ankles, son. Break them. No ankles have been broken just yet here. Oren Keeley with a good tackle. Now back to Wishart with King here. And these are the effort areas I love to see from rugby league players. You don't need to be scoring the try to be making a difference for your side in the attacking play, kids. Onto the 40. Hayward to Tuala. He's going to chew a lot of ala. La la la. Ala la 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 la. Ala Storm. Lot of Storm. Kick out. Now to Burton. The breakaway. Jamin Salmon. He outpaces them all. And the weak guided dog has broken from his leash into the Storm. And the Thunder has just about missed him as he disappears into the clouds. No clue, got found out. Stephen Crichton. And that might be exactly the type of play why Crichton was brought in to the halves. He knows exactly where to be off of kick out. Two players that went through the junior ranks. They know exactly how each other plays. They get it off over to Salmon. And that's the one thing that I think a lot of people have somewhat missed about Dogs signing former Panthers players is failing to get them to use their connection they had at the Panthers. All three of these players have played in a team together for the Panthers, by the way. Not that it's about the Panthers here. The Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs with another big moment in their NRL season. And with 23 minutes to go on the clock in the first half, it is 6-4 with the kick to come. So no 82-18 scoreline here tonight. Absolutely not, Legend. Absolutely not. All right? That's a one-off. A one-off, mate. If we get it again, if we get that kind of scoreline again, I say that we need to reevaluate everything. Scrap the season. Scrap the season. The two teams that scored those tries go head-to-head for the greater premiership themselves. Nobody else deserves it. All right? I surrender, which is why Para are going to do it versus Tigers and be in the grand final, because we all agreed to this before I had the bias. Crichton from the side, and he gets it in. 6-all, thanks to the number 6. And the the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs, I said Panthers too much last sentence and it's messed with my brain. The Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs make it 6-all versus the Storm here. Melbourne just not quite able to hold them out there. Still a solid start considering all the players they have out. But their big job now is to stop the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs from taking advantage. Momentum shifts. They're a dangerous thing in rugby league. Whether you start well or not, if you can't maintain it for the rest of the game, what are we doing? you just all that you really did, Legend, was get exposed on a line break. It happens to every team at some point. It's frustrating to watch when it's your team, but it happens to everyone. Going round the middle. Looks like Moses Leo might be having issues on the sideline. Taking a look at him. Looks like the center shifts to the wing on that bit there, or a small rotation as they check up. Tracy here, back to Salmon, it's another breakaway, can we see a try? We will, Tuala, no we won't, passes backwards through the line, Dogs, is it all backwards? Is it a knock on Canterbury? Poor doggies. Poor doggies. The breakaway was certain, but it's all for naught here when the kick was taken from them. Galvin is in front of the passer, so he can't be involved in that. Penalty for Melbourne. Bit of a scramble from the young boys, and the Melbourne Storm come off, well, the luckier of the three. Melbourne Storm, lock and load. They reload over to Clark. I think he's played in pretty much every game this season, Cooper Clark. I can't really remember a game where he was out. A player of the future, no doubt. Now to Meany. Good hands here. Former Canterbury Bankstown Bulldog. Finds his way here, Keeley. And now to the right here. Gets his speed around them here. Beautiful. Covered by Crichton here. Well, there was no dummy half in the play, so we have to have a little fill-in here, Legends. The back line now. Number 12, Keeley doing the run now. And it's going to be a penalty for the Doggies. For the Storm. The Doggies getting a little bit too excited. Did he get back on side? Wait. I'm confused. Oh, okay. So no penalty. They have to play again, Storm. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, it would be embarrassing if Dogs lose. Oh, it'd be extremely embarrassing just based on the lineups. But this is also the Melbourne Storm, so reputation says it all, whether they're going well in the season or not. Wishart for Watson, for Talau, now for Sewer for Logo. Taken well now by Anari Tuala. Another offload. Leero. And Josh King, they're keeping the ball alive at all costs here. And now Leero gets behind the ruck. Plenty of tackles here. A low kick from Storm. Sewer for Logo! Chasing the line there. And that's one of two tries tonight that he could be getting to prove our master predictor correct there. Sewer for Logo! Go long, boy. He took it literally. A kick through the middle. He's too quick for the Doggies to keep up with. And he just grounds that down on the line, on the middle there. And you almost got to wonder, did Tracy Tuala, did they not realize how quickly he was coming through there? Did they not notice? Well, it doesn't matter anymore. It's now 10-6 here. They can't change that unless the bunker finds something. Always ready for a run, Sewer for Logo, and he showed it right there. What a fast, quick ball playing attacker he is. Doesn't matter where he is. He's here, he's there, he's everywhere. The edge, the middle, round the side. He might even be on the outfield for all we know. He's literally everywhere. I think I saw him over in Japan just a minute ago. And now young Sewer for Logo with a beautiful, beautiful try there. Jason Reeder says Roosters 82-12 over the Cowboys last Not yet. Dominant victory from the Sydney Roosters. The greatest in all of our lifetimes. What a result that was. It's hard to comprehend that you'd have to be nearly 100 years old to have a recollection of the last time that kind of result occurred. And even then, the chances that you're nearly 100 and you remember something from that long ago is another insane factor to play into this too, about how crazy a result that is. Talau with 2 try assists, by the way. Talau 2 try assists, mate. Didn't even notice that. Noticed the try just now, but 2 try assists. What a player. What a player. Talau. And Melbourne fighting hard to keep their finals hopes alive. It dies tonight if they do not win, legends. The Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs. Instant error from Melbourne. Stefano went to a commando. He pushes the face of Salmon in and he's not too impressed with himself. The frustration, the emotion, it's the pinnacle of the rugby league battle that we all strive to view every single week here. Stefano and Chihuahua, and I honestly could argue that Chihuahua's a very lucky boy that they didn't rule that he was interfering with the play there. I think what got him lucky there was how quickly the ball was trying to be played. But ultimately, that was definitely a lot of pressure on the player, specifically on where he was playing it. Either way, it ends up in favour of Bulldogs, and now on the 20 for the scrum here they go. If the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs can score here, you got to think surely they'll nail the kick for all square. Lockie Galvin to feed us in here. Melbourne Storm very open on the right. Will the Dogs go that way though? No, over to the left they move. Stephen Crichton through the side here. He's the big man here, finally getting to be involved in the game. Inside the 10, it's 6 again as Max King rolls over. 5 meters away. Galvin to Preston Mania here. And Preston Mania won't be scoring a try mania, try fiesta. They're touching distance of that try line. Viliami Kikau. Oh, Crichton's been left in the dust here. This is a worry. He's staying down. Well, we can only hope it's not his shoulder again because he's been brilliant when involved. Gets hit when he relaxes. He gets the shoulder. It's properly late there, actually. That is definitely a penalty. Definitely a penalty. You can't be getting them that late and leading with the shoulder. It's just not on in the modern game here. It's a classic tackle 30 years ago, but we're not 30 years ago, legends. In the old days, you used to be able to literally punch him in the face and call it a tackle. And now the Melbourne Storm continue the defensive effort here. They only just managed to reclaim the lead. Imagine losing it right now. Surely you can't think that they will, right? You'd think that they have to hold on. Galvin to Kikau. Viliami Kikau here. The Kikau. A meter away. Crichton. Touched by Storm, but it won't matter. Dogs are over. Jeffro Renakama. Tuamalatu Brown, it bursts through his hands and ends up in our boy Renakama's hands, and he gets the try here, bagging it for the Doggies. Would love to see the advantage on the blind side here, and he goes through. It ends up being a brilliant take from Jeffro here. Straight off the right arm of the winger. And brilliant take. Amazing reflexes. I don't think you could get much better than that one. Put him in the arms with ball handling skills like that. In fact, give him the crown as well. Give him the crown. Jeffro Renakama. 7 tries in 8 games in 2026. If there's one thing he knows how to do, it's how to ground that ball in the try-scoring field. He had the opening there, and it's a good defensive effort from the fullback and the centre to try and stop him. Centre currently playing wing due to the potential injuries. And they're certainly looking to rally up some tries here. It's not the quick start that they had versus the West Tigers that the Dogs would have hoped for, but it is a decent start nonetheless here to get the kick here, to make it 12-all. Stephen Crichton. You saw him feeling his shoulder earlier. Probably just needed the penalty. Strong runner. He's also a decent kicker. Can he be a strong kicker with this play here? A big moment, even if it is only the first half. 2 points are one of the biggest enemies for teams this year. And no goal. No goal. And all of your prayers, Melbourne fans, have been paid off here. You now officially owe us double there. The Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs will maintain the deficit here and be behind by 2 for now. Warriors vs Titans tomorrow. Yeah, Reed Nichols. Can't wait for that one. Going to be a legendary game to watch. We're going to have a blast with that one. An absolute blast. And it's a game to get you really on the edge of your seat at the moment here. Still 13 minutes to go in the first half. Max King, my goodness, with a big crash in there. King to just hold him out. And this year, of course, not the Melbourne Storm we're used to seeing. More losses than wins. More 50-point deficits than we've ever seen. Certainly not the farewell a few potential final year players would have wanted. 7. Gets over by only 18 to 6 in favour of the Storm when it comes to halves touches inside the opposition 20. Tells you how much the Dogs have taken advantage. And Suafalogo now taking them on here on the right. Couldn't find the step around here. And then to the land of the living with Tuamalata Brown. 12 metres out of his own defensive area. And Melbourne Storm. Oh, it's a juggle. And the Storm lose the ball. Right in front of the try line here. And danger. Danger. Red alert. Red alert. Somebody call an ambulance. But not for me, is what the Melbourne Storm say. Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs will get the ball right back again here. And if they score again, man, you got to start feeling nervous as a Melbourne fan because with the underdog narrative, and guard with the ball, they don't miss here. Crichton to Burton. Matt Burton here. I was a bit surprised. I learned about 5 minutes before going live that Crichton was going to replace Burton in the halves. Burton was going to shift to centre. Didn't know how I felt about it, but honestly, while it's taken a few minutes to really build into showing what it's capable of, I've liked some of the signs I've seen about it. Honestly. Less than a metre away, the Dogs. Third tackle. Salmon to Crichton. Linking up with Kayo here. Villiers with Kayo. Gets to the 10. Stephen Crichton with Kayo, with whom they won 2 premierships together, I believe. And they're halfway through the season. Was it 3? Oh, wait. A lot of premierships. Hayward. Preston now off Galvin's pass. Through almost by the Melbourne Storm defenders. Here's Carraz, third tackle again. Halfway through that set now, 50% of the way through. Hayward with Galvin to Salmon here. Leo Thompson, he's allowed to get back up, Leo Thompson. And Thompson, does he have the strength here to push on forward? Not quite. Again, Hayward, arms reach here. Salmon dummies, and Salmon's got a double. The weight of numbers there, they couldn't hold him up. And he breaks the crimp here. No more rockabye's, poor Jamin. The weak-gutted dog becomes the strong gutting dog. And the lock will lock in two here. And he's chasing the barrel of a hat-trick at this rate. Turning right in there, Loiero. And he couldn't keep up with the force Salmon was running at there here. And that's a prime halves moment. You can tell he's played in the halves with a movement like that, the way he dummied. The footwork, the sidestep, the run through the line, that was a perfect mix of his forward side and his half side and his backline side even to find the try line here. The Canterbury Bulldogs will lead by 2, assuming that they don't get the kick. If they get the kick, well, you know how it is, legends. 2 more points, 14 plus 16. I'll let you do the mathematics on that here. Don't any of you dare say 17, all right? 14 plus 2 is not 17. And now Crichton. The Dogs will lead by 4 here. And the Storm, they won't be panicking. A converted try would easily get them right back into the lead here. But that 4-point lead, if they can especially get into halftime with it, it's all a mind game. It's all a mind game, legends. The mentality. I think half of the battle in rugby league is the mental state. All right, the fight between the two. It's a mentality, legends, not just a bit of luck whether the crop of the green goes your way. Not just how hard you play. Yes, how hard you play is probably the game itself is the most important factor. However, the Storm flying it over to the left here. And this is, of course, legends, the final day of July. It's been a wonderful month here. Shout out to Jai Arrow and his family. What an incredible course this has been. And, of course, just because this month's over does not mean the support of Jai comes to an end. It just means that the official named after month comes to an end. It's a piece of many things that will continue to be done in support of the legend himself. Do not have to battle things alone, legends. Galvin. Happy to kick early, Lachlan Galvin here. It's a beautiful long-distance shot there over to Suafalogo, who takes off 30, 40, halfway here. He beats multiple, and it needed Tracy running in here, and the opening is there now for Melbourne. The right edge here. It's a dummy from the debutant, and Kayo had to be ready for him to stop him from breaking away for a try on debut. Another juggle by McDonald's. Wishart. Oren Keeley. Whacker of all. Wishart. Talau to Falogo. We can go again here, the Melbourne Storm. 1 more tackle left. 7 minutes on the clock. Talau. It's a nice kick from Melbourne. And Matt Burton with heroic kick. He was there, Nick Meaney, but Burton just whacks it there, saving the day there for them. It just goes through there and puts the afterburners on. I'd love somebody to just try to beat the defense the way he does. You won't be able to. Just try to, all right? I dare you at home to put in the effort to. You won't be able to. You just won't be able to. It's not possible. It's not possible, legends. It just ain't. It just ain't. It's not possible. Matt Burton here only needs half a gap to find that breakaway. Hayward to Jamin Salmon. Now round here. Able to get it to Preston. He'll break away Seraldo there on the halfway. Curran. Crichton. Kick out. Tracy Burton. Matt Burton. Over to the middle here. Big kick in the air. That's a Burton bomb and a half here. Tracy all backwards here. This will be play on. Salmon here gets it back over to Chihuahua on the right wing here. Will he get it to Carraz? He will. The acrobatics. Carraz is through. And Dogs, the flag is up. Did he do enough to knock him onto the sideline? Carraz believes otherwise. They're calling shoulder charge. Yeah, his foot's on the line, but that's a shoulder charge. I mean, there's a wrapping arm. It's the way he forces his other shoulder over. But there you go, Melbourne Storm. This is not Melbourne. This is not the Melbourne Storm way for years. Yeah, well, hiccups are going to happen. You're officially feeding out of Melbourne for the first time in your history. Like, let's be honest here. The reason Storm have been so successful is because they haven't been Melbourne. This is quite literally Melbourne as Melbourne. This is Melbourne. This isn't like Queensland Melbourne. This is Melbourne Melbourne. It's not the Melbourne Storm mentality that we're used to. It's not the ability that we're used to seeing from them. However, it is also the most Melbourne Storm team we've ever had. To allow here. Bit classy from the former Panther. Great utility value. He's done great. Past the 30. Big kick over to the right now. Play 5 now. Ridikama. And a wonderful collection there from the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs. Down to Matt Burton here. And he's going to catch this one. Let him catch it. Let him push it. It's 20 metres out. Come on, just let Burton do what he needs to. 3 minutes left on the clock here. Stick with it. Matt Burton. And here's Harry Hayes. Oh, what a player. Harry Hayes, here we go. The equivalent. Every player needs a Harry Hayes in their team. An energetic run over to the 40. Finds his way to Chuala here. It's a small kick, and Suafalogo is just there to collect it. He's just there, legends. He's just there. All right. Oh my God, he's just there. He's just there for Melbourne. There's no other way to describe the way he waits. He just poofs. He's there. He's going to appear so quickly. Yeah. He'll come from nowhere. He's here, he's there, he's everywhere. Who you got to call? When Carraz is on the line. When Falogo's on the line. Duh, duh. Watson for Keeley. Oren Keeley gets it past them, and we got a bit of a awkward walk coming from Suafalogo as the Storm keep running. Wish up through now. Plays kick out here. Off a little bit behind the ruck here. 1.5 minutes to go. And the Dogs thought they could offload there. Ends up with Storm. And the Dogs are going to have to hit it out. It's going to be a dropout coming up. No try, legends. We're looking at a potential penalty try. They're saying. If there's any, well, not a penalty try, but we're looking at a professional foul and a sin bin potentially. Let's wait and see. I believe Cooper Clark offloads this forward. Right hand onto the left hand to go backwards. I mean, both his hands kind of juggle it as if it was a knock on, to be honest, legends. That's crazy. That is utterly insane that they've ruled that wasn't a knock on. Utterly insane that they've ruled that wasn't a knock on. Could have sworn it touched a Bulldog hand. I don't make the decisions though. It's up to the bunker here. Here's the kick. Well, Harry Hayward definitely checks him out there. Connor Tracy gets in the way too. Definitely. Bailey Hayward, 100% a deliberate action there with the kick to stop it. That should be a bin. That should be a binning for the Storm. And for the Dogs. Hayward should be off. He'll be out for roughly 8 minutes and 20-ish seconds in the second half here when he's put in the bin. Okay, so they're ruling out a penalty try. I thought they were going to give a penalty try for a second. They were talking about distance and stuff. Never a try. Never a try, but it is a deliberate action. He should be in the bin. Bailey Hayward, he will object. He will object, but the court says otherwise. We do not care. As long as you're on my field, the referee says you are a citizen of the rugby league authorities. You are just another player, and you will listen to my authority. And with a wave of the 10 fingers, Gerard Sutton will click the button and put him in the bin here. They are without their hooker, the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs, for the rest of this first half. That's 1 minute and 32 seconds, legends, and whatever's left in the second half as well. He'll be back just over 10 minutes just under 10 minutes gone by in the second half. Melbourne. Wishart finds Tolau. Folongo, Sewer Folongo. His leg looks okay, and it's 6 more because of Galvin. Oh, goodness me, doggies. Melbourne. Tolau, Wishart, and Loiero. This will be the final set of the half here. Another 6 again here, looking for another opportunity. Tolau on the left edge. Folongo, Moses Leo, too tight, but no try for him there. Melbourne will break away. You gotta make out here. You come out, you gotta stop him here. When you got the defense like that, and it's 16-all with a kick to come here, Melbourne surely will have the lead at halftime here. They just have to kick it from the side. To be fair, it's probably one of the most awkward angles you could possibly have right on the cusp of halftime to have the lead. But if you're an experienced goal kicker, you should be able to release this one. I can only guess that Meany will take this. He thinks so clearly, so fast. It's hard to believe he's so young. Moses Leo, ladies and gentlemen, bringing it home. Moses Leo. Love it. Love it. Para. Sorry, brain switched off for a second. This isn't a para stream. I'm going to the Para Tigers on Sunday. Get in. Awesome, Liam. Enjoy. Maybe I'll see you there. A meter or so inside touch. He wants it to swing back, and he misses it. It's short. We're 16 all at halftime. Did take it back a long way here on target, and will be 16 each at half time. The Storm unable to reclaim the lead. Doggies unable to maintain the lead. And with a score of 16 all, we could be in for an absolutely unbelievable second half when that comes about, legends. We're going to have to wait on that, though. And for now, we've got our half-time moment here, legends. DJC Sports Halftime Show with your host, TJC Sports. Now. Thank you, legends. Good to be back here. Feel free to drop a comment if you want to say anything about the game so far. We love discussing amongst ourselves all that. We'll talk about the result as far. We'll update you on who the try scorers were, and we'll take a look at the stats a little bit as to why the result is how it is, legends. But before that, I'll be back in a minute, legends. All right, let's go. 16 all. We've got a lot to get into when I'm back in about a minute. Alrighty. We are right on back here, legends, at halftime here. Of course, for those of you just tuning in, the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs and Melbourne Storm are all square at 16 all here. Not that it's the best looking result for the Doggies, as they are a man down. I repeat, a man down at halftime here. They will be without Bailey Hayward for the start of the second half, probably roughly 8 minutes without him, probably slightly more, which is a dreadful loss for them, all things considered. They really, really, really had an unnecessary takeout of the Storm player there, and they should not be a man down, but they are, and the Storm find their way through. And honestly, it could look very different had that not happened. It would probably still be a lead to the Dogs if that didn't end up going down. And they would be still all square with players on the field. In terms of key issues for the Melbourne Storm and the Doggies in this game, well, while they've both completed at a more or less acceptable over 70%, the 86 versus 78% possession completion rate indicates that the Melbourne Storm really should be taking over the game a bit more than they have so far, even if the underdog. I wonder if their better ability to complete at the moment has any factor to do in their fight against a stronger Dogs team. Because ultimately, if we're being honest, the Storm do have a less strong team in terms of their full strength team versus what they've got compared to Doggies here. Doggies have a mostly full strength team to look at here. When I think what is the Dogs lineup, I think pretty much all these players. Tyler, Bulldogs lose, not in the top 8. Yep, they're not in the top 8, legend. But the Storm can't afford to lose either. The Storm can't afford to lose either. Neither of these teams can afford to lose, legend. But the Storm, it's officially season over. We're not even talking about them in finals if they lose tonight, legends, which is something I never thought I'd say, genuinely, especially not last year when they were literally the grand final team. They were one of the last two teams we watched play last year with the Broncos. I remember that vividly. What a stream that was. We streamed it right after the NRLW grand final, where it was Broncos and the Roosters. It was a complete win for Brisbane. What a year it was to be a Broncos fan. Wasn't exactly the greatest after, I assume, right? Could only guess not. Storm can do it, says Jacob Jonah. You know, I love it when fans come in backing their teams, legends. It's good to see, you know, because when it's all level, when the backs are against the wall and they're the underdogs, you never know how fans are going to react. And I love it when I see a loyal, especially a Storm fan, because I've dealt with a lot of casual kind of support Storm fans. So it's good to see. I thought Meany got that conversion. It was tight. It was very tight, rugby fella. And we didn't see what everyone else saw. Whatever we thought, you know, when you think that they've got that conversion, sometimes it's just that we saw an angle that looks like, and then you watch the angle next to it and you see, oh yeah, I didn't hit it, you know? Like, it's just how it is. Raiders are my special of the round here, exactly. Without Muddy, Hughes, Katoa, Coates, Grant, etc., we had a bad season. Exactly. Well, you had a lot of them at points for your bad season, but without them at the moment, it's definitely been a dreadful season when it came to luck for you guys. You're getting a bit of what every other club kind of gets kind of like at the moment here. And it's just impacting you. We can do it, boys. You can do it. You can do it. We can do it, boys. We can do it. I know we can. We can do it. All right. We can do it. All right. Oh. What can we do? We can do it. 7 losses in a row. Oh, you're getting into classic para category, aren't you? Aren't you, SS? Not SS, rugby fella, aren't you? You're really getting into that. You're getting into that zone, rugby fella. I think one player that's been a standout for Melbourne Storm despite the all-square affair is Trent Talau. I want to give credit to him. Honestly. What a player. What a creator. 2 try assists in the first half. He'll look to add more to his tally in the second. You can do it. Put your back into it. Oh, definitely you're not complaining, rugby fella. I'm just bringing it up I'm bringing up the difference. Like, you know, you can analyze something without critiquing. A good old double for Moses Leo. The back line for Melbourne Storm doing wonders at the moment here. I'd be nervous though if I was if I was the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs' forward pack. That middle bit is going to be attacked heavily in the second half, at least to open it. Could be waiting to see potentially. I wouldn't be shocked if Stefano Utuwe-Kamanu, Josh King, or Trent Talau went through very early in the second half, legends, for the Melbourne Storm. And I'm sure Rugby Fella is going to be really excited about that potential. I just genuinely think that with the player that they have off and the way the Dogs are going and the way Storm are fighting, that I could see it being some of our best. They're definitely in the top 4 with they're definitely in the top 4 with your hooker Trent Talau. Talau, Stefano, Folongo, and Leo, like, wow. They put in a good performance to try and stop the Dogs from living up to the build-up to this game here, which, of course, has been mostly, Dogs should win this. Well, I saw how Storm fans were reacting at halftime to the result. Not at halftime, pre-game to this, legends, when it was announced that Hughes wasn't playing, no Harry Grant. The nerves were 100% there. So credit to anyone sticking around. In terms of results so far, for those of you that have not caught a game yet this round, legends, shout out to the Sydney Roosters, 82-12 versus the Cowboys. The third biggest ever NRL margin and the biggest since 1935, I believe. Funnily enough, 2 of those top 3 scorelines are from the Roosters. I bet you can't guess the team that has the highest. Here's your clue. They are a former, I'm going to troll a little, they are a former club that had won 11 in a row. Wink, wink. Jerry and Asako. Oh, Jerry and Asako are going to be massive for the Melbourne Storm next year, but you got to wait for them, legend. You got to wait for them. Like how I've got to wait for Jaden Sewer and Jerome Luai. You have to wait for them. Heck yeah, Storm's getting a bit bunched, pushing a few too many and some average service from dummy half. Hope Storms get up. Agreed, legend. Agreed. There's been a couple average moments in this game from them, but all there for a second half to fix. All there in second half to fix. Absolutely. Wait on that. Hold it together. And the Dolphins, of course, beat the St. George Illawarra Dragons 22-28 there in what was a tight affair. Dolphins just able to get over the line with a try from Thomas Flegler in the 69th minute, proving to be the overall winner, even with the later try from Ryan Couchman with about 4 minutes to go on the clock. In the end, wasn't quite enough as Sarko kicked 8 points to seal the victory off of the 5 tries scored. Will we get 5 tries in this game per team? Probably more, legends, to be honest. 3 apiece at halftime. Just a couple more for each. I think both teams have a try in them in the second half. It's just about who has more tries in them. Will it be your team or their team? Will it be my team? Nah, Parra's worried about the Tigers, not you guys. You guys, I hope not. I hope I don't learn on Sunday that they've all gone, oh, sorry, we didn't play. We didn't play for the team. Why didn't you play for the team? Why didn't you play for the team? I didn't play for the team because I was worried about Storm versus the Bulldogs. Yeah, not going to happen. Not going to happen. Absolutely not. Not too long till the second half, legends. So let's lock in our seatbelts. Seatbelts. Yeah, you got to bolt down the seatbelts, legends. Bolt them down, all right, I say. You're not leaving. You're not leaving. Make a bold prediction, rugby fella. Go ahead. You ain't leaving. You're sitting here right with me. I sit through it. You sit through it. The Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs versus the Melbourne Storm. This second half, will it be the stuff of legends that Leo's going to score 2 tries? Leo's going to score 2 more tries, rugby fella, you reckon? 2 more tries, legends. 2 more tries. No more, no less. 2 more tries. No more, no less. There's your bold call. I'll make a bold call. The Melbourne Storm open up with 2 big early tries in the second half before the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs bounce back and steal the win right on the edge of the game's end there. There's your bold call from me. For Storm's sake, they'll hope I'm wrong. That's why I call it bold and not predictable. Here we go. Melbourne Bulldogs. Second half footy at Amy Park. Have you ever heard something so interesting? And here we go. The Dogs versus the Storm, second half officially underway here. The Melbourne Storm will open up with the ball. McDonald has a farm on the 20-metre line here. And running out of the fence at the farm here, he nearly gets away. It's Angus Hitchie. And off the hinges, we have Tyrant Wishart. Typically a 5'8" at Melbourne. He's expected to potentially play hooker for the Bears. Of course, the Bears, I wouldn't have believed it if they hadn't recently signed Jack Cole, leaving me to believe that that's the likely plan, because I do not believe Cole would leave the Panthers without the promise that he was a genuine shout for the 6th jumper. And a very awkward kick from the Storm that kind of loops back towards him. And it's going to be the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs' ball here. Goes out quite literally right near the 40 here. And we need more plays out of the dummy half done well here. Anari Tuala, crucial tackle from the Storm here. And the Dogs, they just keep finding ways to push here. The Storm need to take advantage of being a man up though here. A man the difference. Salmon to Galvin. Galvin with the short pass here. Using every part of his upper body here. Galvin to Curran. Good run for Josh Curran. And now Stephen Crichton with another kick in the air. Burton coming through here. Lands on the 10 here. Oh, we can forgive Watson a little, legend. It wasn't the worst kick ever. It didn't lead to a try, but it was disappointing. That's rookies, you know, how it is with them. They'll mess up just as much as they do incredible stuff typically, unless they're a generational talent. Nearly past the halfway line here. You got to feel for St. George for their loss in the last game. A team who's really been the ultimate side when it comes to crushing your hopes and dreams. They give you the hope before crushing it with a big old hammer and then showing it off to you the remains. Melbourne Storm. The Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs, Crichton. And look, his service has never been a question, Crichton. He's just never really played a spot where he's needed to do it. He had some brief moments at fullback. Even some brief at 5'8", but not with what could be permanent, like the rumours suggest with the potential 5'8" for Crichton. Galvin to Carraz. Just keeps on stepping around. Speaking of positional changes, plenty of talk about him being a potential future fullback. Lockie Galvin. He is Galvin. Galvin looking to unleash Jacob Preston Mania here. Won't be able to. Lockie Galvin. Oh, it's a dreadful knock on. Hand over straight away for them here. Classic Lockie Galvin. Galvin Balvin. And just a few more minutes left of the bidding here. Melbourne, this is probably going to be their best opportunity that they're going to get a man up to do something here. They're on their own 40, the Storm. And with a step here, Watari, he'll be held behind the halfway line. Hinchy just waiting to receive that ball here as Wishart makes the run through the middle now, legends. Storm and Dogs just trying to break away. Liero. Over to the 40. Hinchy nearly unleashed. Until our puts the kick in. Sua Belongo. Stephen Crichton brushes him off and gets the pass to Ridikama. Ridikama considers the pass to Burton. He'll opt for otherwise. And Burton will not be receiving the ball, but Ridikama will be taking the tackle. And good stop there from the defense again. Matty Burton off the Carraz. And here's Carraz with the pizzazz, as we always say, through the middle. And you can see some belief growing in this young Melbourne team as they hold out this strong Bulldogs team against them today. 6 minutes gone by in this half so far. Stephen Crichton, the number 6 on the 6 minute, taking the kick. The Dogs, Burton racing through. That's a knock on from Burton. Hit his hand in the contest here. Sua Folongo. And the Storm pushed themselves over to the 10. And sometimes you just got to revert to chasing kicks like that. Matty Burton. And it's one of those challenges in the air where if he gets the best of it, you're praising him for an exceptional run. But unfortunately, can't do it there. Hey, champ, are you covering tomorrow's games up the wires? 100%, David. We will be covering tomorrow's games, legend, especially Titans Warriors and probably Broncos Knights. We can't do all three because of timing, but Wires is definitely what I want to do, legend, especially versus the Titans. What a game that is. Up the wires, baby. I hope to see you for those ones, David, when we get to them. Melbourne with an attacking chance. Bulldogs with the pass. There's plenty of backing in this one here. Storm appealing. Dogs appealing. So they're ruling Dogs knock on? Whoa. Don't know about that. Oh, we got it right there. It's the bobble round. Moses Leo couldn't knock that on. He was going all back. Just a bit too inviting there for Jacob Carraz. And a couple minutes till Bailey Haywood returns for the Doggies, and the Storm ultimately haven't taken advantage yet. Wishart picks it up at lock forward. Goes to another play. Beautiful footwork. And Wishart, they're all offside, the Dogs. Wishart passes back, and it's a try for Melbourne. He decides not to hog it, and Melbourne will take the lead. They have taken advantage of the man up through the middle. And it's none other than Angus Hinchy. Tyrone Wishart spots all the players offside, including Harry Hayes mostly. And then the pass round here. And that's a bit of inexperience from Hayes as well, because sometimes you got to remember that it's okay to give away the penalty to avoid the try. It is okay to be inside the 10 for a 6 again or something. As long as you maintain your cool, that's okay. They don't, though. And it'll be 20-16 with a kick to come now. Melbourne Storm claiming it good. Hey, mate, how are you, says Laker for life. I am great. Good to have you here, Laker for life legend. How are you, bro? Get in, says Rugby Fella. Get in, baby. Get in. Get in. Angus Henchy, in his second NRL appearance, has a try. The stuff that young boys dream of all across the world. Australia, New Zealand, the Pacific. A US fan who discovered the game through the free Vegas tickets. You name it. And they'll slot in the kick too here. 22-16 now. The Dogs have an upfield battle ahead of them here. I'm not getting excited just yet. I'm just excited for Melbourne getting a try. You can't get too excited yet, 100% legend. Enjoy the try, though. All right? Treat it like it is the victory try, because that's how you do it as a fan, right? You back your team, you get behind it, you get really emotional when they score, you get emotional when they concede. It's how it works as a rugby league supporter. We wouldn't have it any other way. As long as we keep it respectful. What's wrong with being a bit passionate, eh? Just got to keep it respectful, and we're keeping it respectful because that's what we do here on TJC Sports. We're one of the most respectful communities around. We are the most honest. Kick out over to Crichton, to Burton, Rinakama, Jeffro Rinakama here. The Storm with a mistake that could deeply cost them here. Bulldogs do have their man back, Hayward, on the field. Back from the Sidbig, gets his first pass over to Kurt Mann. And Kurt Mann will take the kick nicely. Now to Tracy. Tracy accelerates through the line now with Talau, and wow, good tackle on the 10. Now to Grant outside the 10. Hayward for Galvin. Now for Kurt Mann. For Kikau. Viliami Kikau stepping around here. Brilliant pressure from him. And this is why you don't get too excited. Josh Curran. He's been threatening, but no dice here. You can threaten all you like, but you're not touching. Hayward finds no one. The pass, but Burton puts in a kick and will score the try. What a moment. And that set up by mate swap between Burton and Crichton may just be what saves the Doggies this game. Just sits back, the ball hits the ground, and he takes advantage here. Matty Burton, 20-22, with a kick to come now. And all of a sudden here, Burton just takes his time. Suafalogo, and what is with the rise of soccer level tries? All right, we had the disallowed try, Gray try. We had Sam Walker last night. We had Matt Burton tonight. I'm going to end up watching Mitchell Moses replace bloody Ronaldo in the Saudi League in a week, aren't I? And you just can't question the flat earther, can you? Matty Burton. And we're waiting on the kick. The crowd absolutely against him. Stephen Crichton. He's a very direct kicker, I found, Stephen Crichton. There's not much curve on these. It's pretty right on the spot. When he kicks this, you'll either know it's going in from the moment it leaves his boot or not. And that one is not. Stephen Crichton. And they still are behind by 2. Storm will be breathing a sigh of relief after that one. And who could blame them? I think I'll be doing the same. Good two ways. Good two ways or two. The ads, man. The ads. I understand I'm asking for it, but like, come on, the ads that I keep getting. Bugger, says Rugby Fella. Bugger me, mate. Bugger. And here we go, Matty Burton with a rupture in the dasher. Gets onto the 10. Somebody take me up to the sky and fly me across the world. I guarantee you I won't see anything more incredible than the sight of our boy Viliami Kikau on the ball here, who crashes on the left past the 20 here, 25 meters now. Kurtman, the ultimate utility, the ultimate Queensland utility, might I add, onto the 35. Cameron Serrano said before this game, go out here, earn the 2 points. Well, currently they've got 2 to get them to. And the Storm, they really, if they win this, need to be given credit. There's no way they should be challenging this. I reckon this is the danger game for us. This is the extreme danger game. Played it relatively quickly. I thought there was a knock on there potentially, or a bad play. But what do I know, right, legends? What do I know? I just stream and watch all the games. I can't possibly know everything. So Cooper Clark and Melbourne Storm now. Far left here. And Montoya now forcing his way in. Leo Thompson and Max King waiting to come back onto the field. What an impact they're going to be. 2 of the best possible props in the game that you could want coming onto the field from the bench. And look, on the bright side, Matt Burton, you may not have the lead, but you scored one of the best tries of the game. Passes back to Chuala, who pulls through the middle here. That was a really awkward tackle, even though it works out. Had to put in the tackle there. If he doesn't make it, it's try time for the Doggies. Galvin. Straight back out for Anawi Tuala here, past the 40. And a penalty now for the Dogs. Penalty for the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs. And they've just got us guessing at the moment, don't they? Anawi Tuala here. Trent Talau on report for it too. Yeah. Swinging stretched out, penalty all day. 25 minutes still on the clock. Attacking set coming up. Trailing the game by 2. King back on the ground with Leo Thompson. Leo Thompson, speak of the devil here. Flying into Utueka Manu. Back up from Wishart has arrived. Bulldogs back to Max King here on the inside. Hayward seemingly asking for a full set again. Not going to get it. Connor Tracy. Right foot step around here. It's all backwards. Took a Melbourne and 6 more tackles here. Chuala. Trying to set up something here. Won't be able to. Shouldn't be too hard for Melbourne to withstand. Galvin. Now to Galvin. Galvin dummies. He tries to sell it. Nobody accepts it. Here's Kurt Mann. Pulls out of the initial tackle of McDonald. And King back out there again now. It's not a sure thing at the moment who's going to win this. Crichton low kick. And it's, wonderful collection. Crichton tried his best. That is a push. That is a push. That is a push, but it's going to be Dogs giving away the penalty. The Dogs arguing. Crichton was the one pushed. I'm surprised. What did the... I don't know about that one. One marker from 10 meters out. What? I'm not sure about that. But here we go. Here we go, legends. Storm. And we got another one coming from Oren Keeley. Storm looking to free their attack up here. Even with a whole 22 minutes to go in this game, the next try is so crucial for how this game's going to go. Garwood in there, Hayward. And can the Storm foil the plans of what is expected? Wisher, 6 more tackles for Melbourne. Oren Keeley. And that's just what the Storm needed. 6 to go. Onto another dummy here. The debutant, 25 meters out. Now the Bulls come back. It's going to be 6 again here. The Dogs do make contact. I'm a bit surprised that they've called that the Dogs did make contact. Josh Curran doesn't question it, though, and it's another full set for Melbourne here. They continue pushing forward here. The pressure on the Bulldogs. Talau, inside, Storm fending them off here. Liero. Turning it a bit of a ballerina there. Ballerina. Onto Talau. Gets it off to Josh King. King get them off. This would be massive. The Storm could bust them open here. Jacob Carraz here for the Dogs. He couldn't get out of the dropout. Well, he manufactured that kick. And it was a good effort here, Carraz, just getting on the inside of his opposition. We are officially halfway through the second half now. Good confidence by Watson and Moore to try and gain that 6-point differential in the end, though. Ultimately, not meant to be. And on the short here, beautiful contact. Melbourne managed to collect it. And it's all backwards too, of course. 20 minutes remain. I want to remind you, no Munster, no Hughes, no Coates, no Warbrick, no Katoa, and more for Melbourne. Jeez, it's been strong, Stefano. Held in front of the try line here. Second tackle. Storm. Liero, Watson for Longomini! Offloads to Burton. And Burton was there waiting for it. He's allowed to run Matty Burton. Jeff Rubenakama now. They're trying to guide in the Storm defense. Storm slow down the play. Very surprised it's not 6 again. Onto the 40. Carraz now. Fourth tackle. Lockie Galvin stepping around here. Galvin, he's beaten a couple of them. Will he find the pass? Galvin versus Josh King on the 30. One more tackle left. Crichton thunders it in the air to the left. Kicks towards Big Jeffro. Finds it to Burton. Burton to Curran. Josh Curran, the Dogs. The Dogs of War lead again. They bite back. Or should I say back? The neighbour's dog. Wow. It turned out it was just a really awkward sounding storm that has faded. The clouds are rescinding their role in today's climate. And now the Doggies will have themselves 24 on the board with a kick to come here. Absolutely incredibly hard fought for a try. A try scorer and a half. And it's no wonder that on the poll, the Dogs have overtaken the Storm 51% to 40% in their chances to win this one. 9% of you going with a draw. Are they going to investigate this? Wait. Hold up, legends. Hold up. They could take a look at that, knowing the refs. Let's wait a second. So they'd be asking if there was any touch from Ridikama. I do not see a touch. Oh, the left arm into Meany who does it. It could be a double knock on, legends, which would be no try for the Doggies. Should we get a benefit of the doubt? Should we give a benefit of the doubt try? Melbourne fans will have their fingers crossed that the bunker says otherwise here. The Dogs, they're looking a bit nervous. What is happening? Nobody knows. The bunker's not making it clear what's going on. The ref doesn't know. The Bulldogs don't know. The Storm certainly don't know. It's the Storm. We don't even know if we're going to the bunker yet. That's the big concern here, legends, that we don't even know yet if we're going to the bunker. How can we not know if we're going to the bunker yet? We've still got 17 minutes to go, mate. Make your decision, bunker, please. Try confirmed over his shoulder. 24-22 officially. And the Storm fans got given a little bit of hope before it was ripped away cruelly by the... What? Sutton, we just had try confirmed. Can't see anything clear. Try stands. Oh, poor Melbourne. Poor Melbourne. They couldn't see anything clear. And Stephen Crichton to extend it to a 4-point lead. Similar kick to the last attempt that he missed. He'll try to rectify that here. One of the best players of his current age, and he's got that one cleanly. (26-22). Look, I think that there were angles to say Riddick haven't touched that, to be honest with you. I'm personally surprised based on the bunker's typical decisions that he's allowed that try, but it was a remarkable try nonetheless. I'm going to say that I have no real opinion on that, but I do think there was enough to overrule it and say no try. There was enough to overrule that and say no try. I think I can see why the ref didn't think that it touched, but in live play, you can't blame the ref for thinking that didn't touch the player. Where this goes down to is that the bunker could not tell whether that arm touched it and what direction it went. And depending on where you're looking at this, you're going to have a different result. I guarantee you, if you put 10 different people in the bunker and tell them to tell you if that's a definitive angle to say knock on or not, you are going to be split down the middle or completely random percentage, because I don't think you're going to be getting the same answer from all 10 people. I believe that was a knock-on, and I don't believe that was a try either. I agree with Rugby Fella there. But ultimately, will it matter if you get the try here, Rugby Fella? Storm with the ball on the 10-metre line for the Doggies after the Doggies made a mistake. Here we come. Storm to the right. Beautiful pass. Keely nearly knocks it on, but keeps the ball together. Squeezing it between his arm and his hip. Talau gets those toes moving over to our boy Josh King here. This would be a remarkable win for Melbourne if they could get it. Stefano Utikamanu. The Bulldogs defending with everything they've got. One more tackle in the set. Leero. On tackle 5. Keeps it alive. It was touched by Thompson, I think. Sutton says hand over. It grazed Leo Thompson's hand back into Melbourne's position here. And Melbourne are just going to let it be. Probably a bit tight for them to want to challenge anything, eh? I'd love to see the replay. Oh, no. Doesn't touch the hand of Thompson, and then a tackle's initiated. Yeah. No. That's all good. That's a fine enough play. Tracy. And he is Connor Tracy. Nearly to the halfway line here. Lockie Galvin. Couldn't find his way around there. 15 minutes on the clock here as Max King takes a thunderous hit there. I rate that a 15 out of 10 here. And the strip, he's claiming it was a 2-on-1 strip, King. Max King is screaming that it was a 2-on-1 strip. And Suafalongo. And whether you think Storm have been getting the rubble of the green or not, I'd say that they'd be happy to get the rub of the green there. Well, the Melbourne fans, they're feeling it. They have hope. They have hope. They want that lead, and it'll be a nervous one even if they do get it. Nick Meaney offloads to Lau here. Then Desua Falongo, 2 bounces. His first taste of NRL footy here. Wisher. Watson. Kicks it high. Anybody interested? No, but Melbourne will hit it forward. Kiraz to kick out. Retrieves it to Rinakama. Rinakama breaks down the left edge. 20, 30, 40. Back round here. Could have passed backwards. He didn't. Tackles it foot 1 on the halfway. There's a break on the right edge now. Tuala steps around. He's looking for Preston. He can't find Preston. On the 30, Lockie Galvin sets off Kachow. He's Lightning McQueen. Lightning. It was very frightening. On the 20, Karaz. Salmon to Crichton. Crichton to our boy Tracy. Tracing the line. He gets to the 20. That's one thing I couldn't do in school very well, even though it's simple. Trace a line. Much harder than people make out. Oh, use a ruler, use a book. It still won't look straight, miss. Galvin. Kicking towards the edge here. And the Storm is in a dropout. Hell, he knocks on. He knocks on. The player knocks it on. He was trying to kick the ball in the field of play. Great finish to set by Lockie Galvin. And they really did put the pressure on the Storm. He's offside. That'd be a pet. And here we go. They've got all the doggies on the left side here. They're ready to get a straight try from here And I'm sure the nerves are real for the Melbourne Storm support here. 11 minutes 30 on the clock as they play it. Hayward to Crichton. Now to Galvin. A kick out. That was arguably forward. Everyone in the stadium thought it. I thought it. But the ref does nothing about it. Says no forward pass. Now Thompson winding up. Gets it in the hole of Melbourne's defence. Now Aaron Keeley to Galvin. To Tracy here. Tracy to Lau. Good tackle here. Galvin. Back round. Carraz coming infield, trying to find space to Hayward, to Salmon. Salmon to Kikau. Kikau now on the ground, steps around, finds the pass. Crichton! What a dummy! Stephen Crichton for the Bulldogs! With the strike weapon. He takes off. Kikau and Crichton. The combination is back and it's flying. It's 30-22 with the kick to come now. And the Storm fans, you can hear the groans, you can hear the moans, you can feel the points that they have blown after that play there. An awkward moment that works out in the end there. And on the left edge here, Viliami Kikau, despite the best efforts of Hinchy and Nick Meaney, who played 60 games for the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs between 2019 and 2021, where he scored 206 points. Ultimately looked a bit average there, and he looks a bit average in that pass there, despite his effort with Hinchy. Stephen Crichton flies on over there, and honestly, this 5'8" center switch between him and Burton might be the way to go long term. The way the ball is flicked onto him here, it's incredible stuff, honestly, legends. Just watch it. Oh, it's just... What a pass backwards. That's absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant from Viliami Kikau. Deserves all the credit. Well, bring on 2027. 9 minutes to go. This is Melbourne Storm we're talking about. Miracles to come. Who knows, legend? But you have to think that the chances, well, the chances just aren't it. This has been a tremendous contest here from the Dogs with a bit of class, and they miss the kick. Cross the face. Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs, they seem likely at the moment that they've got the result. Course legends, they're advertising it right now. Tigers and Eels. We will not be live for that. I'll be at the game as always, like vlogging it. But feel free to check out the vlog when that's out. From the halfway. And the Melbourne Storm now. On the defense, it's going to take miracles. It's going to take miracles. It's going to take big boy plays, big moments. Front by 8. This is Galvin's time to shine. Storm, Dogs, Storm, Dogs, Dogs, Storm, Dogs, Dogs, Dogs. That's how the tries go at the moment, legends. Kick out onto the 30. 8 minutes on the clock now. One more tackle left in the set for the Bulldogs here. The Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs, assuming they don't implode, should have the result in their favour. Suafalogo gets it to Moses Leo. Moses Leo pushes on forward here. There's definitely been a couple concerning signs for the Dogs, even if they will appreciate what the result has brought to them. Melbourne to Suafalogo. Now Watson. A change of direction for Bailey Hayward. Into the halfway. Here we go. Over to King. Here's King in. 7 minutes. 7 minutes is all I can spare for you. Bombs away off the boot of Watson. The kick out's offside and takes out a Storm player as well. But Suafalogo is going to look to play it on. Take on 25 metres out now. What a great tackle. Tuamalatu. Joe Chan. If they can go across here, well, it's going to be a grandstand finish. Talau. W's to Stefano. What a tackle from Kayo, though, to save the day. And it's 6 again for Melbourne. Hinchy. Pushes to the left here. Suafalogo. Suafalogo. 2 tackles down. They really want to score here to give them enough time. Josh King. This may be their only chance to truly get back into it. Loiero to Stefano! He's held up. Came on and they are all there. They were all there to stop him. Couple great tackles and moments. Both on Stefano. And a dummy. He got a 6 more call, so it should be a penalty. Wasn't it, marker? Well, they need to score. Melbourne have to score. 5 minutes, 40 on the clock. Got the pass over to the left. Watson to allow Chan now. Chan now. Here we go. They need to put the AA batteries in. Put them in and never look back. Never go back to the cheap stuff. And the batteries have fallen out. They've been put in the wrong way. And we all know what happens there. You think the thing's busted, but in reality, you just haven't put the energy in correctly. And the Storm, well, their batteries have been put in all topsy-turvy in the sideways. An error from Melbourne. And the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs will be getting the ball back on the 10-20. And it's going to be a really tough go for Melbourne from here. Less than 5 minutes on the clock now. They're going to really need the game to shift in some way. Redekama. Pass back. Definitely touched by Storm. That should be a full set again. Burton to take off. Jeffro, mate. Jeffro, watch yourself. You're going a bit, you're trying a bit much, mate. Onto the 40 now. Salmon loves the run. 4 minutes to go. Well, there was a period at one point in the year where Canterbury couldn't barely get a point, and now look at them. Now Galvin. Puts it up across the face to the left. Kayo in the air. Viliame Kayo takes the catch and goes. Can't find it. Jesus, he can do some freakish. Mate, Viliame Kayo is a freak. Can we agree on that, legends? Kayo is just an absolute freak. Melbourne with the ball now. All right, I'm calling it now. 3 minutes to go. They have to score somehow in this passage of play. Somehow. Somehow, they return. That's what they need. They need to somehow return. Somehow, against all the odds. Background lost the ball. Moses Leo's lost it. And Dogs will look for the true ceiling component in this. 2 minutes 40 on the clock. Hayward. King. Offloads back here, and they're going to say it was a strip from the Melbourne Storm. Gets the hip, and he's at all sorts. Just gets his hip there on the wrong side. Alec McDonald there. Big target, the poor bugger with the chin. So the reliable Kiwi there, Alec McDonald. Okay, they're waiting for the HIA to get in line, and then they'll let him play. Angus Hinchy out there for the last couple of minutes. 2 minutes 25 on the clock. Hayward to King. Tyler Bulldogs are in the top 8, and they deserve it. Now to the left. Stephen Kreider! The captain goes over here in Canterbury. Score again. 34-22. All us fan bases have to go through a moment where our team doesn't play finals eventually, legend. You guys have been lucky to run it for so long. It takes time to build a team, especially when you're not feeding out of what should have been Broncos, Cowboys areas, especially for juniors, legend. Or Titans even. You got Jerome Hughes from the Titans. Well, ultimately, I feel like it was underlooked this year how much it would impact them having to grab from their own genuine ranks on top of it all. It has 100% impacted them, and, well, they're going to need time to develop them. These are actual kids. Not everyone that comes out of the system is going to be Billy Slater, Cooper Cronk, and Cameron Smith. You're going to get people who are just solid players. Ultimately, they or will be solid players. They need to be able to be given the time to learn to that. Of course, Jerry and Asako, which you're excited for next year, will play a big factor in helping out the Storm moving further into the season, of course. But they're not here till next year. You have to look at the team objectively. Are those two going to add to the team? 100% they are. However, the Melbourne Storm still are going to have bits of their game that they need to let the kids develop for. You can be mad about it, but it's just the truth, unfortunately, legend. Hey, Ed. Hey, Petra. Welcome to the stream again, legends. Congratulations to the doggies here. And now, as a Parra fan, all I need to make my year is for the doggies to now be knocked out of finals by somebody in some way. And there you have it. Stephen Crichton slots that one in there, legends. 36-22 here. Amy Park, well, it's never been quieter. They're just too much for him. And the Bulldogs, they've got a good test over the next couple of weeks. My wish could come true. Broncos, Panthers, and Dragons that are in better form, Rabbitohs and Roosters. Couldn't pick them a much tougher group. And the short restart ends up in the hands of the Dogs. Good luck, rugby fella. Hopefully they do get the win. Are Melbourne actually about to miss the 8? They are, Angus. They are. And I'd be lying if I said as a Para fan I wasn't pretty happy. But ultimately, that's the rivalry for you, eh? It happens to every fan base at some point, legends. It's happened to Para a lot. I haven't watched my team play finals since 22, guys. It's just how it is. It's a valuable win there for the Bulldogs. The crowd goes wild. Melbourne Storm, I do not believe will be playing finals. Well, nobody seems to be interested in forming the scrum except for the referee now that the game's been decided. Just to finish the game. Just beat it so we can finish. Just feed it so we can finish. And it's an instant knock-on from Storm. It's a bit of a mess. Out of play. There we go. Full time. There we go. Now they... Wonderful. Amy Park has been lit up in blue and white. And if you enjoyed the stream, legends, make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new with notifications on, as we do stream pretty much every single round. I will see you guys tomorrow for a set of Saturday streams. Can't wait for it. Gonna be legendary. The doggies ultimately putting too much on them there. Thanks for watching, legends. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Just realize that we are witnessing history with this. Wow. Wow.